Okay, so the LILJ is joined right now by first-year head coach at Sacred Heart Academy, Chloe Hoschel. Chloe, how's it going here this afternoon?
It's going good. Can't complain. What about you?
Doing great. First, just want to thank you just for taking some brief time just to join me on this interview, just to talk a little bit about your coaching background and getting set to start your first season here at Sacred Heart, and just all things about the upcoming high school season.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, 100%. So, like, just a little bit about Chloe's background for anyone that may not know. So, Chloe is a high school graduate of Northport, a 2019 grad, played collegiately at Stony Brook before transferring to Jacksonville. And so, Chloe, you're an alum of Jacksonville. And now you're getting into the coaching realm on the high school side. But first, I just kind of want to ask you just a little bit about, was coaching something that you kind of always envisioned on the high school level? Because I know that you're involved on the club circuit as well,
Mhm.
coaching with the Yellow Jackets program with the 2032s. So, is coaching a high school program something that you kind of always envisioned, or like how did that really kind of come about with this opportunity?
I can't say that this is something that I knew that I was going to pursue after I graduated from Jacksonville and Stony Brook, but I always loved coaching. And I sort of figured this out very early on, way before I even knew what my college degree was going to be. So, yeah, I started coaching when I was actually in high school. I started out with just PAL, coached my little sister's team, who's now a junior, and she's committed to LIU. So super cool. But then I started coaching for Yellow Jackets while I was at Stony Brook, and then I really fell in love with coaching. And then as I guess kind of moved through my coaching career, and as I got older, more opportunities just kept popping up for me, and I just kept saying yes. And I had free time, and it was something that I loved doing, and it didn't feel like work, and it was also an extra job. So yeah, so lucky that it doesn't feel like work for me, and I feel like all coaches can say the same, that when you do what you love, it doesn't feel like you're working. And so yeah, coaching through Yellow Jackets gave me a lot of opportunities to work with players of all ages. So I've worked with players who I'm teaching them how to catch and throw, how to hold a lacrosse stick, how to wear their goggles and mouthpiece. And then I've coached girls in clinics, upper grades, high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So walking into this role, I again, like it all happened so fast. And once I got the opportunity, and once I realized that this could be me being a head coach for Sacred Heart Academy, I was just jumped at it. I jumped at it right away. I didn't even think twice. And it's funny too how life works, because all while this was all happening, I had just gotten home from Florida. I was starting to figure out I started subbing in an elementary school, just started figuring out like my career. And I had a lot of free time all throughout the summer, besides club. And September was so quiet for me. I had nothing going on in September. It was wild. And that was the first time that I really had nothing to do. And I was like, I really am starting to think about coaching at another level. Like maybe I could coach for a school. Um, and it's just so funny how life works, because as soon as I started looking, I actually was reached out to by one of my former coaches who had a connection with the athletic director at Sacred Heart. And she said, "Hey, Chloe, do you want to coach high school? Because Jen Strauss is looking for a head coach." And, I coach with her as well, not Jen, my connection. And she was like, "I couldn't think of a better person. And if you're looking, this would be a great opportunity." And she was really excited to even like tell me that this opportunity was out there. So of course I said yes, because I was looking. And then it came, I like attracted that, it attracted me. And it was really, really good timing. And then just for me to even wrap my head around the program that I'm walking into, like such a amazing program with great legacies and
Mhm.
a great history. I remember playing Sacred Heart when I was at Northport, and they were always really, really good. Um, and so it's crazy to think, I was starting to think about coaching high school, but I never thought that I would end up being the varsity head coach for it's such an excellent program. It just sort of worked out really well. And I'm so thankful for my connections who led me here and my athletic director, Jen Strauss, who believes in me so much.
It's so interesting how these opportunities just kind of present themselves.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy how this kind of all came together that
Yeah.
is just formulated for you.
Yeah.
And you talk about like coaching a team, Sacred Heart. They're a
Mhm.
team that, of course, is perennially in contention for the
Yeah.
high school championship. Of course, they play so many talented teams, both on the public school level and other private schools that are also highly ranked across the country.
Hmm.
And just kind of getting into now, like kind of getting your feet wet into
Hmm.
your first season coaching at Sacred Heart. Just kind of like, are there any coaches that you've maybe been around, whether it's like at the high school level or like on the club level, that you may have kind of admired growing up
Oh,
that can maybe
absolutely.
maybe like help you along the way and kind of
Absolutely.
coaches you could take advice from? Of course, you got to play for a coaching legend in Coach Carol Rose.
Yeah. Yeah. So Coach Rose definitely first person that comes to mind. And her assistant through even when I was at high school too, Alexis Curcio. She's a director for the Yellow Jackets as well. And we've coached together. She coached me.
Hmm.
And then she really, really was a mentor for me while I was at Northport. Um, and we stayed connected for, the years to follow. I was at Stony Brook and then even through Jacksonville. But so my relationship with them is so great because of just our experience that we share from Northport. Like we share that state title, and that was like something no one can ever take away from us. And um, yeah, that honestly, like that was such a huge bond for us, and it still is. And growing up, I had Coach Rose and Coach Curcio who were leading my, Northport Young Guns camp and Yellow Jackets camps. And, when I was a player. So I always admired the both of them. And then getting to coach with Coach Curcio, I coached my 2031 sister and for Yellow Jackets. And that was such a good experience for me. I learned from her so much. And yes, she actually really helped me get my foot in the door with Sacred Heart. So it is funny how it comes full circle that now we'll be playing against each other on April 5th. But I definitely have huge admiration for both of them. I'd also like to add my coaches at Jacksonville. So I had a lot of coaches throughout my career, but my time at Jacksonville was so special because it really reminded me of how much I loved the game. And I really became a student of the game and learned so much from my coaches. They were really like teachers, they were life mentors, they were lacrosse mentors. Mike Bedford was my assistant coach at Jacksonville. He helped get me there. And he believed in me so much that he took me from a defender and made me into a midfielder. And he loves lacrosse. He taught me so much about it. We were like lax rats, a bunch of my teammates too. Mindy McCord was the head coach of Jacksonville when I first
Hmm.
got there. She completely changed my perspective on life and lacrosse for the best. And I'm so grateful um, that they really taught me, playing with joy and believing in yourself, believing in others. And I can go off on such a long tangent about that. Then having Coach Tara Singleton walk into the role of my head coach, my second and third year there was so great too. It was her first time as a head coach, and my class was really important to her, and she was really important to us because we were just sort of like navigating this new era together. Um, and yeah, I learned a lot from her about team management. And I catch myself saying little things that she would say at practice a lot. And I'm sure if she heard this, she would laugh because in the moment we're like, Coach Sarah, no. But now it's, like we're like, don't say that to us. But now I find myself saying it and I'm like, now I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really lucky for all the coaches that I've had throughout my life. And yeah, it's definitely shaped me into wanting to be a coach myself.
Nice. Now, what are some of maybe the philosophies that you're kind of looking to instill into the program at Sacred Heart? I mean, of course, you just talked about so many coaches that have
Yeah.
helped and guided you along the way. So I'm sure there's so many things that you can kind of pick from different coaches that you played for or been around, but also kind of want to instill your own philosophies as a head coach on the program. So what are kind of some of the things that you're looking to do in your first year to kind of continue the growth and also sustained success of the program?
Well, I think one of the biggest core values that I carry as a coach, and even as a friend, a sister, a daughter, whoever I am, is empowerment. And I love taking that into both young girls and older girls in sports. I love empowering players to believe in themselves on and off the field. And so empowerment has got to be like my number one core value. I'm also very loyal. So with that relating to Sacred Heart, like I will do anything for these girls to achieve their goals to the best of my power. I will leave no, what is it? No stones unturned.
No, yeah, no stone untouched, I think.
Yeah, I will turn all those stones. I will touch all of them to get these girls where they want to be and achieve their goals because I know how special my high school career was. And that translates into what I'm expecting from them as well. We talk a lot about effort, we talk a lot about urgency and details. Details is a big one. So those are some things that I'm bringing in to the program. And I think largely just you have to do your job. I'm going to do my job. You have to do yours. We need to trust each other. We need to rely on each other. Yeah.
Now you have definitely some talent on this team that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna have a chance to coach this spring, and without having really played any games yet, but just maybe like through tryouts or through practices,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of what are some of the things, or like how has it been just being able to learn about your players, like some of the players on your team that are returners from last year, players like Katie Flaherty, a UVA commit, Colleen Thieck, a Virginia Tech commit. You got Riley Kirchner recently committed to Stetson. So some of your upperclassmen that you're getting a chance
Mm-hmm.
to coach, some of the sophomores like Ali Reesner, Liv Minago. So you definitely have plenty of talent on this team, but
Yeah.
really without having played any games yet, just how has it been being able to kind of just learn about your players and learn their strengths and weaknesses as you go along here?
It's been really, really fun to coach these kids. It's obvious how much they care about this team, about this sport, about each other. Um, they're fun to coach because, I'm walking into a team that, like you just said, all those names, and there's so many more that I'm really excited that I'm going to keep. Oh,
You keep it
but
under
I'm
wraps.
really, yeah, I'm gonna keep that down here for now. But I'm really excited for them to really show out and get some recognition as well. But overall, it's been really fun. I love watching them. I love coaching them because uh, every single one of those players that you have just named, they're so talented, right? So when I walked onto this team, I'm like, what can I tell them that they don't already know? But I find myself not so much reinventing the wheel, but just fine tuning little things.
Mhm.
And they take to it very well. This group and the team as a whole, they have started to understand concepts about offense, about, you know, spatial field awareness, like the clear, just concepts that I was not able to grasp until I was in college. And it's alarming how fast that these girls can learn. And I honestly think that's the willingness and openness to having something new, and knowing that I have the same goal as them. So that helps us trust each other and work together super well. knowing that I have their backs. I know what they want. I'm going to get them there. And I could see that the wheels are starting to turn. They're starting to really trust me. And I'll say something and I find myself not having to really explain why. They're just like, okay, got it. And like it's starting to click for them. But yeah, overall, I know I've said it already like 3 times, but it's been really fun. I really enjoy watching them. There's a lot of times where we'll be in the middle of practice and someone like Katie, Colleen, Allie, Riley, any one of those players that you just mentioned, they'll do something. And me and my assistant coaches, we just look at each other and we're like,
Just
mm-hmm,
kind of like
mm-hmm.
mesmerized.
Write that down. Yeah, we're like, got it. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's really, really fun.
Now you talk about goals, and so that was kind of the next question that I wanted to
Mm.
ask you. Like, is there an ultimate goal that you have for yourself and for the team in year one, or is it more maybe just about like incremental gains and kind of taking it day by day as you go along here?
I think an aggressive goal that is not just mine, but really from the girls is to win that championship title. And they got really close last year. And I know they feel very passionately about getting there again and really finishing what they started. And I know that's really, really important to this senior group as well, which in turn has made it really important to me. Um, and in terms of other goals for me as a coach, even throughout my career or just this season in general, I really want to shake things up. I really want, and it's not for my name, it's for them. It's for Sacred Heart. I really want their name to be more in the picture and on those rankings. And I know that's earned. And I really think that we're gonna get there. I think it's gonna take some time, but it's a long season. And I really think that they can do it. They can shake up these rankings. And I'm really excited to see our first game is Tuesday. And I'm like, we're going in, we're prepared, but I don't know what's on the other side. So we have to control our controllables. I know what we have and know what we're capable of. Actually, I don't even know fully what we're capable of. I know what we're capable of right now.
Right.
In the future, I think it's going to be a whole nother skill set. They're going to just keep progressing up and up and up. But yeah, I think overall for me, it's to help these girls, really finish their high school careers the way they want to, and also to shake things up and get Sacred Heart in the that name in the mouth of some more people moving forward. So yeah.
Well, Chloe, I just want to thank you again just for taking the time to do this interview with the LILJ. It's greatly appreciated, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you throughout the season. Like, we'll definitely be seeing Sacred Heart for sure throughout the spring. And like you said, your first game is coming up on Tuesday. I know
Mm-hmm.
against Southside. So,
Yep.
so good test early on to start the
Yeah,
season
it'll
for
be.
you guys.
They're a great team, so it'll be really good for us to see, um, kind of what we're doing good at and what we still need to work on. So very optimistic going in.
Well, Chloe, thanks again. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Of course. Again, thank you for having me.
Of course.